sleepless nights every night almost. Then one of the teachers said, a Tibetan teacher said, stop it, I was in a really bad state. And he said, stop it, eat. So that's what I mean. So sometimes vows, monastic vows, which are very, very strict, and they're also made for the East, they're not made for the West, can be broken by agreement, for example. But anyway, we don't have to go too much into that. I know, I see people very interested now. What are all your vows? I have many, 348. So many of them have to do with living in a community, which are totally not workable because I'm not living in a community. Yeah? Okay, so born in a central land means where there is people who practice and have realizations. That's what it means. People who not just have intellectual knowledge about this, but through their practice have realizations, like the Tibetan masters, the Thai masters, like Ajahn Chah, like Thich Nhat Hanh, like these people. That means living in the central land. So the West has become a central land because these people came here, and we can have contact with them. Having all the sense organs intact. Now again, it doesn't mean it makes it totally impossible to study and do, but we had one blind man in Dharamsala, so he could not read. There's very few, I don't know if there are Dharma books in Braille. Okay, now you have these hearing books, so that's already a good thing, but that was 20, 30 years ago. Every time he wanted to go to the library for teaching, he was just standing there up in Dharamsala waiting for somebody to take him by the hand and take him down. His name was Situ. I don't know if anybody knew. No, he was Indian. And I felt myself once sneaking by him because he was in a hurry and I knew I would be late. But I caught myself and went back to get him. Usually it was me who took him down. Some Tibetans would look at us, like there's this nun walking hand in hand with a man. So I told him, take your stick, please, because then they see that you're blind. Because otherwise, I'm not supposed to touch men, by the way, which I do in the West. I do touch them, because it's another Asian thing. But I don't do it when Tibetans are around. Yeah? So he gave up after a while because it was too difficult. Yeah? So you see, our senses, our health is so fragile, and we don't even appreciate it. Just to be able to see, to hear. I can't hear properly anymore, but I still can hear somewhere. So just to be able to hear, see, touch, walk with these fragile things. Man, we have so much reason to rejoice. That sometimes we can go, I can see, I can hear. When there's a lot of noise, you go, yeah, but I can hear. Because I can hear the noise. Do I want to be deaf? No, I can hear. The noise is not disturbing you anymore. Yeah? This is how you transform your kind of shitty life into, I can hear, I can think. I have a human brain. I have a social system around me who can help me. How wonderful. Yeah? We learn how to rejoice. And when you meditate in these things, if you don't make the mistake of feeling guilty, this is the best meditation against depression. No need for pills if it's not clinical depression. Whatever situation I'm in now, it could be so much worse. Even if you have cancer, it could be worse. You could be an alcoholic at the same time. You could be abandoned. You could be in Syria, No matter what sickness you have, it could almost always be worse. The moment, but we always want it to be better, then we get upset. But when we start to go down the lane of, hey, it could be worse, then we start to relax. Yeah? Not having committed the 5 heinous crimes means not having killed your mother or your father willingly, wantingly, and thinking it's a good thing, because that's very heavy karma. Not having created a schism in the Sangha. But again, many say at the time of the Buddha, so the Buddha is not here, but it's still not a good thing to do, because you have different views and you want to have your own students, but there's already a teacher there. Actually, that's what it means, so you're not in danger of doing that. And then you take because with your other views, you take the people away. I have the better views than that one, but you know that your views are wrong, by the way. So it needs a lot for this to happen. So yeah, there's many parts to that it comes, creating a schism in the Sangha. And then, killing somebody who has realized emptiness, knowing that he has realized emptiness, and drawing blood from a Buddha, knowing that he is a Buddha. So, but having caught these 5 very big negative actions, you cannot attain enlightenment in that life. That's why we have to be free from that. A very important thing, having faith and trust in the teachings and in your own ability to get these things on that side and to get rid of the things on this side. If you don't have that trust, you will not go very far in the spiritual path. So these moments when you have total openness sometimes, that everything is okay, then go, this is my nature. It's not you, don't go, this is me, because it's not you either, but this is my nature. Okay, to nourish that trust. And to have trust in the teachings, you can only have when you know the teachings and when you apply the teachings. If you just with blind faith, whatever I'm saying, you're nodding, but you have never tried it out, that's not trust, that's blind faith. But if you have anger and you apply the antidote to anger and you apply it not just for 5 minutes, but over a period of time, and you see, my anger is decreasing, that will develop the trust. So you need to know the teachings in order to trust them. But not knowing them doesn't mean you have to distrust and throw everybody out. You just have to listen and then examine if it makes sense for you. Yeah? We could talk a lot about this, aspirational phase that comes from admiration, and the phase of experience, but we don't have enough time. Anyway, this course, by the way, if you think that you do this and then you know Buddhism and then you don't have to go to any courses anymore, forget about it. This is just to give you the menu, to know what is available, to give you the A to Z kind of thing. Here you start and that's the end. But then going into details, if you're interested, then you have to do more courses. Many more courses if you want to practice. At least 5, 6, 7 a year if you want something to develop. Otherwise it becomes just intellectual, nice, but you won't be able to apply it. This is the thing. Okay, having faith in the teachings, your own ability. An enlightened being has appeared. So we still have the teachings of what is called Shakyamuni Buddha. The teachings are being traced down to him. We have a lot of commentaries that came from other people who practice on the way, but it's still based on what is called the Four Noble Truths and the Sutras, what the Buddha said. Out of that came Shastras, meaning commentaries on the Sutras. The Sutras are the word of the Buddha. But if you read the word of the Buddha, many of them you don't understand what he's saying. If you read form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. Nice, eh? That's the Buddha's words. So what on earth does it mean? Or he says, if you're Bodhisattva and you think that you're Bodhisattva, you're not a Bodhisattva. But if you don't think that you're a Bodhisattva, then you are a Bodhisattva. So it's like, if the Bodhisattva doesn't think of himself as a Bodhisattva, then he is a Bodhisattva. If he thinks of himself as a Bodhisattva, he's not a Bodhisattva. So if you hear this for the first time and you think, what on earth does that mean? Okay, so Buddha has appeared, has taught the path to enlightenment, meaning the teachings are still present. Teachings remain in an undegenerated state. Again, I don't know, because a lot of what is being added in these 2,600 years is cultural stuff. So we need to have the wisdom to keep the essence of what the Buddha said, but kind of not be so fascinated by the cultural things. We don't need to have to throw them out, all of them, but not be so fascinated by it. So, what is not cultural is the Four Noble Truths. And what we need to realize is emptiness. And then whatever means and methods you take to go there, then that becomes cultural, but it's okay. because it speaks to our mind and to our habits. Do you understand? Yeah? So Western Buddhism in 100 years will look different from what it looks now. I don't think we'll still have these pictures. I don't think so. Now, what will I do without these pictures? You don't need these things. You use them as a support if it inspires you. If it doesn't inspire you, what's the point? If it repulses you, then don't have them. Don't look at them. Teachings that remain in an undegenerated state. Now, sometimes also it is a bit degenerate already because we live in a degenerated time. Are still being practiced, meaning you need other people around you. And people in general are kind-hearted. You see, if you practice kindness and compassion and all the people around you just tell you, you're so naive, you're so stupid, don't you feel like the fire? It becomes very difficult to practice these things. Putting others' happiness in front of yours if your whole neighborhood and family says you're stupid. But if people are inspired by what you're doing, if kind-heartedness is seen as a good thing, you see, kind-heartedness is being seen as a good thing by everybody when it touches them. If I have a conflict with somebody and I just give in, I'm flexible and I give in, he doesn't come and say, don't you feel like the fire? Because he feels the kindness of being flexible and giving in. If he feels my kindness, he doesn't think I'm naive. So if somebody thinks that no, you're naive because you're kind, stop being kind to them. And then when they complain, you say, well, I stopped being naive, you see? You see, they only think it's naive when you do it to others. But when you do it to them, they see the benefit of it, that it's a good thing. Okay, so this is what is called a precious human rebirth. When we have these things or are free from these other things, we have all the visas, plane tickets, the right things in the suitcase. Like not the goggles if you want to go to the Antarctica, but you want to go to the South Pacific, okay? Like we have the right things in the suitcase. We have the visa and we have the plane ticket to attain enlightenment. If you have these things. Some of these things are missing in your life. You can see whether you can get them. If you don't want to get them, then ask yourself, do I want to attain that state? Do I want to attain full awakening? Maybe that's not the right thing for me. And it's fine. It's fine to say this is not the right thing for me. It's okay. Yeah? So, the precious human rebirth comes about keeping pure morality, practicing generosity and patience, and having made specific aspirations. Okay. Now we have a break. So it's quarter past, so you have a break until quarter of an hour, okay? Or 20, let's have a 20 minutes break, so then the meditation becomes a bit shorter. I'd say it's okay not to have these reflection meditations too long, especially if you have new people, because then, body pain, and they get upset, and this and that, and they don't listen anymore, because they're not used to follow a voice. So it's quite okay. So we make a break until 35, yeah? And then you still have 25 minutes to meditate. Okay? Don't forget, in here you are in silence. In the Wadon, you don't need to talk. Actually, keeping silence is not such a bad thing. But if you need to discuss what you heard here, then it's fine to talk. But not in the phone. So thank you very much, and you don't have to wait for me to come out because I will drink